next one. Goal! Goal! Equaliser for Leeds. There's minutes to go here. Into the box. Oh, it's hit the inside of the post from Bamford. LUFC! Oh my word! What a response from Leeds United.
Thank you for joining us here on Matchday Live, where Leeds United are looking to continue their unbeaten run in 2024 as they host Hull City here at Elland Road. Now, the bank holiday atmosphere is already incredible outside here at Elland Road, and we are joined by a man who loves nothing more than getting stuck into that atmosphere, our very own Michael Bridges.
Great to be here. I love it. I love evening kickoffs, you know that, and we're under floodlights again later on.
Something feels really good as well about the fact it's a lighter night, it's Easter, there's chocolate everywhere. This is just joyous.
Well, there's no more chocolate left because me and you have destroyed it, but the atmosphere coming in from the car park, walking past the fans, there's a big buzz about it, and obviously the last game of the Easter break, so we've got to go out with a bang.
Yeah, it genuinely does feel really good here at Elland Road. Let's just talk about Friday night's game, because it wasn't one of our best performances, slightly better in the second half, Bridgie, but how would you sum up that game?
It was disappointing, like you say, first half. Not so good, the atmosphere. We just didn't look like we were in our zone. We've come back from the international break and just didn't seem to find our groove until the second half. And then once the second half kicked off, obviously whatever Daniel Farke had said, the lads got momentum. We built from that. Substitutions made a massive impact in the game as well. And I would say it was a good point away from home when you consider the first half performance. So that said, Leicester lost at the weekend, obviously early on. So we got that point to gain on them. Now they've thrown the gauntlet back because Leicester have gone and got the points. And it looks like Ipswich have done it against Southampton, unfortunately.
It does. It's currently 3-2 that game, and it looks like it's going to finish that way. Look, we can just see the lads arriving looking like they're in, well, I was going to say high spirits, and then I saw Joffrey not looking so happy there. But does that, when you look at those results and when you think about Friday, does it put a little more pressure on tonight's game, Bridgie?
I prefer it when we kick off early and set the standard and then send a message out to the rest of the league. I find that is the best that we have done this season when that has happened. So it's going to be interesting to see, being the last game, having to respond from the two matches with with Ipswich getting the result and Leicester. How are we going to respond to that? So Daniel Farke and the players coming in there nice and relaxed. I'm sure that they'll be trying to shelter away. They'll know the Leicester score, obviously, because that was early on. I'm sure they'll be just sheltering away from the Ipswich and Southampton game so they can fully focus. That man, Daniel Farke, will have everybody switched on.
He absolutely will. But you'll know from your playing days, Bridgie, how easy or otherwise is it when teams around you have played before you and then you're about to go out there?
It depends on the result. If they've won, well, then you know you've got to go out and you've got to get that result. And sometimes the extra pressure. I prefer to stay away from the results. I try to, I don't want to know, don't worry about the others, get on with the job at hand. We're at Elland Road, and every time that we have been at Elland Road, Daniel Farke says, he feels at home, he knows how good we are, and I'm getting a frog in my throat because of all the chocolate.
Look, Hull, when you look at their recent run of form, they've drawn 1 and lost 4. On paper, that seems like a good thing for us. We're here at Elland Road, under the lights, it seems advantageous, but is it a good or a bad thing, Bridgie? Because we know there can be an element of hunger.
Form is a big thing, especially in this division, momentum and form. Ipswich have really slipped up in the last few matches, like you've said. They could cost themselves a playoff place. So,
sorry, you said Ipswich there. I think you meant Hull, didn't you?
Hull, I'm watching the Ipswich game there. So Hull have really slipped up. So it's an opportunity. We're in really good form. I mean, the clean sheets that we've had, the wins that we've had, the momentum. So whoever comes to Elland Road, we're not fearless of them. It's go out full guns blazing. And Hull are the ones where the pressure is massively on them because they're dipping form. like I say, they're seeing their playoff hopes go out of sight. So they're going to come here with the attitude to try and stop everything and have a real good goal. But I just feel we've got so much quality in this team, the momentum, and having the centre half pairing back as well of Roden and Ampadu. That for me is key to this result tonight.
Yeah, we'll discuss that more shortly, Bridgie.
Yeah.
But you're right, there is that degree of confidence. We remain unbeaten. Yes, Friday night wasn't a stellar performance, but we still managed to get a point. And there definitely feels this year, since 2024 started, there is a huge degree of confidence in this squad.
Yeah, it's the momentum has just been building. I think what I've also enjoyed is the fact that the players that have been waiting for the opportunity have come in and taken that as well. So the competition for place has been massive. The players that have been in the starting 11 have been getting the results and getting the job done. But then when we've relied on others to come off the bench and come in, Joseph the other night getting a goal. One of his first touches, absolutely magic.
Brilliant.
So it's things like that. Willie Nunto at the start of the season, we didn't see him coming in doing a job. So that is really good, and that's why what Daniel Farke has created. It's a dressing room that I feel like when I was at Leeds United back in 99, 2000, 201, we had an incredible dressing room. I loved coming into training. I loved the matches because we had such a camaraderie, so many good players at our disposal. You never knew whether you were going to start or not, but what we did have, it was all healthy and we all got on, and I feel that's what Daniel Farke has generated.
And one man that we can see on the screen there is Archie Gray, who is so young. And when you think about this dressing room and the camaraderie amongst the players, how great is this for where he's at in his career, for his age? How wonderful is it for him to be surrounded by that right now?
I mean the upbringing he has had, thinking how many members of his family have gone through the Leeds United DNA, it always helps because his dad will be able to talk to him and explain, what it's like. And when you hear Archie speak, and obviously I've met him several times, I was with him in Australia when he was on pre-season tour. Not only is he a standout performer at such a young age, but when he speaks, Emma, he speaks with so much knowledge and enthusiasm about this football club, but years above his wisdom. So whether he's had media training or what, I don't know, or whether he's just so grounded and level-headed. But what a player on and off the field.
Well, like you say, he's got some good genes behind
Yes,
him
he
as well,
has.
hasn't he? Look, you mentioned there that Ampadu and Rodon partnership. How critical is that we've got that back, Bridgie?
Yeah, well, Coops is the one that's missing out.
Yeah.
But the fact that Firpo comes back in the left-back position, what it allows them to do is move Sam Byram to right-back in his more natural position, Archie Gray into his more natural position in midfield alongside Kamara, with Gruev being out. So that combination of Roden and Ampadu in the centre-half position, that has been pivotal. The amount of clean sheets that them two have had together, that this football club have had, knowing that they are at the back, I think it was an easy decision. Now I feel for Coops obviously, but it's an easy decision for Farke to make because that is a central pairing that everybody in this stadium wants to see.
Absolutely. Well, look, we managed to rescue a point over at Vicarage Road on Friday with two memorable goals. Let's just have a look back at those goals, shall we? Because like we said earlier, Bridgie, it was a frustrating game, but the kind of game where, yeah, you'll take a point from it, won't you?
Yeah, to get the point was huge, and like I said, there was the two goals themselves, amazing in two different reasons. Somerville's is a world-class goal. We've seen him do it time and time again. He gets better and better, and the way he drops his shoulder, defenders know what he's going to do. Goalkeepers know what he's going to do. He's going to drop the shoulder, he's going to cut inside, and he's going to smash it into the top corner. But they don't know how to stop it. It just happens. And then obviously Joseph coming off the bench, I think that was a big moment for him.
It was huge for him,
Yeah.
25 seconds in, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he will remember that moment forever, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, the goals that he scored earlier on this season as well, he's playing a big part, and I think he's going to play a major part going at the back end of this season as well. When you've got somebody that is an impact player that can come on and change a game and get himself going when the team weren't, I would say, functioning well in the final third. The big thing was, obviously, the resolve that we showed yet again. When we go behind, we're never out of a game at Leeds United. So what Watford was put on a good show, but we found a way to get in. That was a good point away from home, knowing that at the another opportunity at home to get the 3 points.
We can see the Somerville goal here. I just want to get your thoughts, Bridgie, on where he ranks in terms of players in the Championship. He's up there with, in my opinion, he's up there with the best in the Championship this season. What do you think?
He certainly is. He's got to be in the top three. I mean, there's a lad at Blackburn Rovers, they might get relegated, and Smodic, he could be the top goal scorer in the division. He might get relegated in the same season. But when you've got a player of Somerville, I think, he's a player that wants to play in the Premier League. He wants to be there with Leeds United. He's doing everything in his power to get Leeds United back to the Premier League. and there's Premier League teams all around the world watching this kid, because the development since his goal at Anfield against Liverpool he's just gone to a whole new level.
And he's just full of confidence, isn't he? Yeah. He's another player that you almost forget how young he is, because all you see is confidence oozing out of him.
And he tries things like, he tries some ridiculous things, but he's been allowed to do that from Daniel Farke. So, you know, Daniel Farke recognises that as a player of so much quality at his disposal, you can't restrict that. You've got to go. He was upset, Farke, when I said play with the freedom. What I mean is you've got to go and express yourself and be allowed to do that. So, that's what he does. And like you say, when you're playing with that much confidence at a young age, he's thriving. And I love entertainers. The players that get you off your seat, Emma, fans love them. And he's one of the players that does that.
And I feel like we've got a good few of those as well in this Leeds United squad this season. You mentioned there, you know, showing that kind of resilience. We've seen it a number of times this season. And even when we don't get a win, to be able to get a point. And there was always this belief, I don't know about you, Bridgie, but I always felt there was another goal in it for us.
Going into the end of the Watford game. Yeah, because the momentum was coming, you could feel that. And that's the confidence that this team bring, because it was wave after wave of attack. We find a way. There's a couple of times this season at home where we haven't looked at our best, and there's been a shift in system, there's been a shift in personnel. So every time Daniel Farke and his staff have made a decision of whether to change a player or personnels or a system, it's worked, and that was a moment there. I think that'll be a valuable point come the end of the season.
Oh, it absolutely will. Every point counts, doesn't it, at this stage of the season, when you look at the table and when you look at what's going on around us. Daniel Farke did say, didn't he, you know, not necessarily satisfied with the performance, but satisfied with a point. But was there a degree of it was to be expected coming back off the international break?
Well, the international break, it served us so well this season. I think it was the first international break we came back from. We had 3 wins back to back. And that was incredible, because I thought, I've seen, you know, sometimes it disrupts you. It hasn't, and that's the challenge now that the players, was it an underdone performance, or was it because the travel to Watford put on a good performance? You're back at Elland Road now, they've had enough time to recover. You don't need any more encouragement to put a performance on there in front of the lights, the fans tonight. And I think, I'm going to go out and say it again, there's going to be a big performance here today.
Very excited. I mean, it says a lot, Bridgie, when you and I are the quietest people in the house around here. I don't know if you can hear that on the other side of the screen, but they are in full voice out there.
I'm ready to get
I'm
going.
Absolutely here for it. Right then, let's get the thoughts of the boss, Daniel Farke, ahead of tonight's game.
Something from Elland Road, but we can't choose. So Hull is definitely one of the best sides in this league after so many games. The table never lies. They have many offensive threats, really good players who are capable to create end products, creative players. So it's difficult to play against them. We have to be, especially defensive-wise, spot on in order to control this. And then also to be good in our possession, to bring our strength into this game. It will be a complicated task, but nevertheless, we want to be on it and want to win as many points as possible. Well, we have lots of competition on this position, but it's always good. I want that my players are always greedy to play each and every minute. I also want Matteo that he is greedy to start each and every game and play each and every second. So not that he's happy then just to score from the bench, but as a manager and as a team and as a group of players, always great that you know, okay, we have players who can change the game and can score out of this situations. Last time I think he scored was also when he was in the starting lineup away at Chelsea, also quite impressive. But it was also good for his confidence right now that he scored also after substitution for his national team. It's good to have a young player with his energy then on the bench, but also the experienced players who have delivered with many goals, like Joel Perrault, like Patrick Bamford. Also good to have this group of strikers. I spoke about this. We need in the end more or less 35 striker goals in order to finish in the position where we want to finish, and we're on a good path to achieve this at the moment.
We heard Daniel Farke there talking about the fact that Hull are one of the best sides in the league in terms of their attacking threat. Yeah. Do you agree with that, Bridgie?
They're up there, yeah, they are. But like I say, the last few games, it's all about momentum. They've lost their way. They haven't had the good run of form. So with that central pairing now of Roden and Ampadu, I'm so much happier, because I know that's going to be so organised to nullify the threat that Hull are going to possess. And I know they're very vulnerable at the back at this moment in time. They haven't been getting the rub of the green, they haven't been getting the results they've needed. And our front four, or front five, and the midfielders joining, the dynamics are brilliant. So there will be goals for us. and I'm saying that the back line, the defensive issues, the four lads, the goalkeeper Melier, they've got a big job at hand tonight, but I'm trusting them, and they'll get the job done.
You're absolutely right, and that is something Daniel Farke, the fact he's referenced it there means no doubt he's been working on that with them. This defence know how important they're going to be tonight.
It's, you understand, it's not just how good the players are. I'm a big fan of Roden. He's come in, he's been magnificent. Standout Premier League player in my eyes, without a shadow of a doubt. Whether it's with Leeds United or another club next season.
Leeds United.
Yeah, hopefully Leeds United. Yeah, and that's the standout performer. But what you need people around you, and it's the organisation, the understanding that he has with Ampadu. Melier behind him, he's made some big saves this season, but also the midfield duo, whoever that has been this season. We've seen so many different things. It started with Archie Gray this season, early in there with Ampadu. Now Ampadu's playing centre half. We've seen Gruev and Kamara. So there's been a lot of personnel changes. We have managed to keep a nice, tidy, clean sheet mentality with whoever's been in there. So that comes from hard work in the training ground and the understanding communication of the players all feeding off each other.
When you cast your mind back though to that game on Humberside when Roden got sent off, is that it would be quite hard if you're thinking about that game in isolation to call it really, because it was quite a tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough one, and there's a couple of times Roden's brought his luck as well this season when he's been on the yellow cards, and that was it was an underdone performance. Like I say, it was end to end. They're a very attacking team, as we've talked about. But we found a way, and I think tonight is going to be completely different. We're at home. They've got the crowd behind them. We've got the momentum and the run of form since the new year, and I see this team going out with no fear. They're going out and they're actually enjoying the football so much because they know they're going to create chances.
Do you think Hull are going to feel under pressure tonight? And I don't mean necessarily coming up against Leeds. What I mean is where they look at themselves in the table at this stage of the season and their recent run of form.
It's the recent run of form, knowing they've got to come to Elland Road in a team that is in magnificent form, scoring goals and playing free-flowing football. It's not the type of place you want to come. It's not the team that you would want to come up against.
It's the kind of place that we relish. We love it.
It's
great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, do you know what? We thought that we'd resurrect Art Club for the bank holiday, and this time we put our number 9, Patrick Bamford, to the test. Let's see how he got on, shall we?
Wow, that's Elland, no doubt. Sam, big pole, 30, Joffy. Oh, that's me. I'm guessing just because he did it when I dyed my hair, didn't he?
No, it's weird that you did it before you dyed your hair.
Right. DJ. Oh, that's Joe then. Joe's drawn DJ.
Yeah, this is the Welsh banter section.
Yeah, Sam. Just giving him wrinkles.
I'm going to be honest, I had no idea who that was until he drew the horse.
Is that right?
Do you know who that is?
I've got no idea, but what I will say, finally we have found one of the players that is actually good at drawing.
How can you say that when you don't know who it is?
Oh, but that's different.
Not that good, Bridget.
His horse was brilliant.
Fantastic horse, but shame about the player.
I want the viewers to tell us who it is.
Do you know what? I've got a feeling, can I tell you who I think it is? That it's Ruter, because hasn't he got a horse? Well, didn't he go to Cheltenham? Am I completely wrong here? Can anyone help me out? Somebody tell me.
I honestly don't know.
I thought he had. Right, do you know what? Get in touch. Let us know who you think that was. But I'm absolutely sure.
I hope he has got a horse. That would be lovely. What a pet.
Right? I've never seen Michael Bridges this excited.
What a pet that is, yeah. I love horses.
I don't think he keeps it at home and goes riding it, does he?
I don't know. We'll find out, because I went to Cheltenham and I loved it. So if Ruter was down there and he didn't ring us, there's going to be hell on.
Has he got your number?
No.
Look, we are edging so close to kick-off. Where do you think the key battles are going to be tonight, Bridget?
Key battles, we mentioned it. You said, as Daniel Farke did, they're very good in their attacking sense. The key battles is going to be the front line for Hull and how our back four organise that. The other key battles midfield, Archie Gray back in his favoured position alongside Kamara. Which are they going to be able to control the game and just start to dictate play? And once we get in that kind of rhythm, we can move the ball from left to right, we can go back through the midfield. That's when the fullback can join in as well. That's when we're at our most dangerous. So it's all about that early. It's the first 15 minutes. I know exactly what their manager will be saying to them. Nullify this crowd. It's Elland Road. get on the front foot, get in their faces early doors, try to stop them, because if we have a really good start here, it could be curtains for Hull.
That is something that we talk about week in, week out here at Elland Road, isn't it? But particularly at home.
It's a nightmare player.
The good start.
And I loved playing here, especially in front of floodlights, the European nights. What I used to hear after I left Leeds United was coming back here to play at Elland Road. Yeah, because you knew you were in for a hostile reception. I've seen I got a lot of booze. But you remember, you're part of the DNA at this club when you play for Leeds United. But when you come back, you realise why them teams felt so intimidated coming here. But it also raises your game because you want to be that stand-up performer against Leeds United.
Do you know what? I wish, I know you're not here because you're watching, but I wish you were, because this is incredible. Just have a little look, Bridgie. Yeah. They are in full voice behind you. I want to be out there right now. Who do you think this whole side have looked at in this Leeds United side and gone, that's our target man?
James,
all 11 of them.
Bamford, Somerville, Gray, Roden, Melier, Ampadu. Am I missing anybody? they'll have looked at the bench as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is we know there's so much quality there that we can bring on should we need to.
So the work that you, like I say, when you're coaching and you're going through your analysis session with the players, you'll do the dynamics on the training parks, you'll do the walkthroughs, you'll do the set plays. What you'll also do when you're in the room in the media suite and you're looking at the analysis, you're not only talking about the team shape, you're talking about individual key players, we call it. You normally pick out 3 or 4 different players, and then you look at the changes and the substitutions that come on. So it's all the things that go on. Their analysis session on Leeds United, they're probably sat in there for 2 hours because there's that much to try and digest. No, that's a long session because they know how much homework they've had to do on Leeds United.
And the thing is as well, Bridgie, is I know we've spoken so much about this stage of the season, but it truly is the business end now. So Hull are going to know how important it is for that. It's equally as important for them with where they're at.
Of course it is.
That they're looking for the 3 points.
They're trying to kickstart their season once again. They've got playoff expectations, and like you say, the last 5 matches haven't gone their way. Other teams have now had a creep up and gotten points on the board in that in the playoff positions for that sixth spot. And you've got teams that were below Hull City, like Middlesbrough, who have really had a bad run of form. They're unbeaten in 6 now, and they're right up there with it. So you can't afford to slip up in the Championship. So they've got to really think about the end of their season running as well. So it's not going to be easy, but I just feel at home, Elland Road, Daniel Farker's living room, or his lounge as he calls it, the relaxed atmosphere from the players, because they love playing out there. We've got to win here.
Well, we hope so, Bridgie, but like you mentioned earlier, I mean, it's like a jigsaw at the top of the table. It feels like there's moving pieces constantly. You know, I can't help it. My eyes are constantly on the table, constantly looking at other results. I literally cannot help it.
We could have gone, I mean, if Ipswich hadn't won and they were 2-1 down with like minutes to go, we could have gone back top with a win here. So that it is so tight, and you know, Southampton are knocking on the door as well. They've just slipped up, but it's that 3-way battle for the 2 spots. It's
killing me, Bridget.
I know it is.
I'm having sleepless nights, and I know you watching this will feel the same, because
it put me off in the first 2 minutes of the show, because somebody's texting us telling us the Ipswich result. I'm going, oh, we didn't need that. The players don't know that. They're fully focused. They'll be out there and ready to do their job.
But I'm just saying, as a fan, as a neutral, it's great.
It is.
You know, we're seeing this in the Premier League. It's reflected in the Championship. There's those 3 teams at the top, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. But as a fan, as a Leeds United fan, it's like torture.
It is. It's torture for all fans. That's why we love the game, because your team is in the mix, and we are up there with a team like Leicester, who obviously got the parachute payments. They've got the Premier League from last season as well. You've got a team in Ipswich that have come from the division below that are having a right good go. So this is why this division is so open-ended. But at Elland Road, good night, game over, 3 points please.
Absolutely, Bridgie. Go on then, score prediction.
This is, I'm going to say we're going to win 3-1.
Michael Bridges is saying 3-1. I will absolutely take that. Thank you very much, Bridgie. Right, this Friday marks the 24th anniversary of the murders of Leeds supporters Kevin Spate and Christopher Loftus. Before kick-off, the club and fans will pay tribute to both men with a minute's applause. Our thoughts continue to be with both of their family and friends. Now, before we hand over to your commentary team of Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo this evening, let's get the thoughts of Sam Byron.
Well, Sam, they come thick and fast. Another important game, isn't it, this evening?
Yeah, that's the Championship, you know, a couple of days and you've got another game. So Good point on the road against a tough team, and it's another tough test tonight. We're back at home, which we're happy about, and we're going into it confident.
They proved plucky opponents, didn't they, in the game over there? Do you expect the same again this evening?
Yeah, they've made some good signings in January. I think they've had a few tough results recently, so they're going to be really keen to try and get a win under the belt. Good players, good squad, and they're going to be pushing for the promotion spot. So we expect a tough game, and we've got to be at it tonight.
Home form's been excellent, obviously, particularly through this second half of the season. Is the pressure on to make sure that remains the case between now and the end of the campaign?
Yeah, it gets down to these sort of last 7-8 games. Obviously, everyone's looking at the table, but we just got to look at ourselves. We're confident at home, we're confident away, and it's another chance to add points to the board, and that's what we're aiming for.
Good luck.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you.